I'm Haley Giambalvo of Design Improvise blog, filming from San Antonio, Texas today. So let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'm so excited to have you guys here for some flower crafting today. I'm going to show you how to make all types of cool paper flowers, the type that do not die, they last forever, and they're the best type because I love flowers, all types of flowers, but I really don't like spending a bunch of money on a bouquet that's only going to last for a week before it wilts. So I'm going to show you a few that are going to last for a really long time, starting with these beautiful paper roses. They're oversized, they're really lifelike, and they're just a really fun flower making technique that once you try this, I promise you're going to be hooked. You're going to want to make all different types of flowers. So we're going to start with those today, but I've got two more for you as well. Come on over here. This one is a fun upcycling project. So these use old book pages, and I found an encyclopedia at the Goodwill, just a lone encyclopedia that probably was never going to be used again, for 99 cents, and I turned it into these pretty whimsical flowers with some tissue paper added in there for pops of color. So I'm going to show you how to make those. Those are super simple. And then lastly, I've got these flowering spring branches. So these are so fun to add to your home decor at the beginning of spring, maybe when there's still snow on the ground and you want to bring a little spring indoors. These are super simple to make, and I use a really somewhat surprising craft supply for those. So if you hang on to the end of our show, I will reveal what it is I use to make those pretty flowers. But let's get started here. Who is excited to make these roses? Send some likes if you like these flowers, and in the meantime, let me know what's your favorite type of flower to make if you had a choice. So I'm going to show you these. We'll start with what you need. Of all the flowers I'm going to show you today, these require the most kind of specialty craft supplies, but they're really worth trying out if you haven't done a lot of flower crafting before. So what makes these flowers so lifelike is a special type of paper called double-sided crepe paper. It is also called doublet. Crepe paper is another name for it. And I will tell you a little bit more about where you can find that in a bit once we get started, but it's a really neat kind of paper. You'll also need some floral tape, which you can find at any craft store, and floral wire. It comes in different thicknesses. This is, I think, 18 gauge, so look for about 18 gauge floral wire for these. And then lastly, you need a template, and this is really just a heart template. The bigger the heart, the bigger the rose is going to be. And if you go to my online tutorial for these, there is a link to these. These are actually from marthastewart.com. You can search on her website as well for rose template, but you need the small petal and the heart, and you can blow that up to whatever size you want. So this one uses those larger hearts. I'm going to show you how to make a smaller version like these here, which uses this size of heart. So if you don't have a template, you could just play around and make your own with these hearts and a kind of a similar shaped small petal. All right, let's dive in. So probably the most time-consuming part of this process is just cutting out the hearts. So I'm just going to demonstrate a couple, but I've got most of them ready to go. You can come in a little closer, Heather, if you need to. So I'm going to use this template here. I just want to show you this crepe paper real quick. The cool thing about this is a lot of them are two-toned, so one side is lighter than the other, and that I think also makes the flowers look really lifelike. And where you can get this paper, the source that I love is a website called castleintheair.biz. So castleintheair.biz. They, I think, are the premier suppliers of this specialty crepe paper, and it sells for $2.50 a sheet, which you'll need about 3/4 of a sheet for one of the flowers that I'm going to make, and about 1.5 sheets for these large ones. So that is where I get them. I think you can find them also on Amazon. There's a limited selection. My friend Leah Griffith, I don't know if you know her, but she is an awesome blogger and paper flower maker, and she now sells her own line of this, but it is a specialty crepe paper that I think they import somewhere from Europe. Has anyone ever used this type of paper before? Let me know. I think you can make just about any type of flower with this paper, and it looks like the real thing. So what I'm showing you guys here is that I am using my flower template. I'm going to trace 12 of these heart shapes on the paper, and I do them I flip them in different directions to kind of maximize the space and not waste any paper. I found that that's the best way. Now, obviously this is a little old school method of cutting and tracing. I'm curious, I don't use like a paper cutter like a Cricut or a silhouette, but for those of you that do, is this something that you think you could run through one of those machines? Because that would definitely cut down on the prep time. So let me know. I would like to know if you could use this. Otherwise, I say do this while you're watching TV at night. This is like the type of craft project I call a TV watching craft. Usually when my husband's watching hockey or something and I'm not super interested in the game, I'll do something like this on the side because it's pretty mindless. You just need to take your time tracing and cutting them out. So just showing you here, for these petals you'll want 6 of them. 6 of these and 12 of the heart shapes. So once you've traced them all, you can cut them out, which I've already done for us.
All right,
Has anyone used a Cricut?
We've got some replies on flowers they like to make.
Cool, let's hear it.
Daisies, lilies, of course roses, daffodils, hydrangeas.
Love them all.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a flower I don't like, but those are some of my favorites too. So you guys got the idea of this. You're gonna trace this out, 12 of the hearts, 6 of the small petals. And then my favorite step is once you've got them all cut out, you're gonna bring them to life. And this is what makes this paper really special, is that it's bendable. And I'm gonna show you how you do that. So if you take one of these hearts, you're gonna put your thumbs in the middle like this. You're gonna pull, you're gonna push it with your thumbs while you pull on the outside like that. And that is going to create that petal shape. Isn't that pretty? So it just kind of, it's called cupping. I think you just kind of cup it and push them in. I'll do a couple more so you can see that technique. You can almost hear it stretch. That paper is really stretchy since it's double-sided. So you're gonna do that for each of your petals to give them that real kind of lifelike look. And even the small petals, I do that as well. So I pull them out while I'm pushing in with my thumbs.
Somebody asked if you could fold it and cut multiple layers at a time.
You certainly could try. Yeah, that's a good, I'll show you how long this paper comes. So a full paper is quite long. So you could try to double it up or more and cut through multiple. That's actually very smart. Always looking for time-saving tips like that, so thank you. Okay, so you're gonna do that with all of your flowers, and also one other step with these hearts is that you're going to curl back with a pencil. You're gonna curl back the tip. So you know, take it like this, wrap it around and just curl it, and that gives you another little petal shape. Like that. Do a couple more.
Somebody said they like this idea because their fiance doesn't like real flowers because they die fast. Maybe you should mention how long you've had this.
Yeah, so that, I agree. I love these because they will last forever, literally. These flowers here in the vase I made for my daughter's 3rd birthday party, which was 5 years ago. She's going to be 8 soon, so they've lasted. They even survived a move. We were in Chicago prior to this, and we moved down to San Antonio 4 years ago, and they made it in the movie van. So they are seriously indestructible. So even though they're a little, you know, a little effort to make, it's worth it because they do last forever and they look beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next step. So I have one of the small petals, and I have my floral wire, and I'm going to wrap it tightly around the wire and secure it with the floral tape. So I'm just pinching it there. Now floral tape, who's used that before? I think this is like one of the coolest supplies ever. It is not sticky at all when you feel it, but it sticks on itself really well. It's a very interesting material. So I'm just going to wrap it around here and tightly pull on it while I wrap it around. Can you see that, Heather?
We have questions. What kind of paper again are you using?
Yes, so this is called double-sided crepe paper, also called doublet. Crepe paper, you can find it online at castleintheair.biz. That's where I have always purchased it from. And any other type of crepe paper just doesn't work. It's really the double-sided that makes the flowers look so lifelike. So I've got my first beginning petal there. This is going to form the inside of the rose. And I'm going to put on the other 5 here real quick. So there'll be 6 total. So you just keep wrapping them on top of each other and kind of turning it around as you go and adding more floral tape. So what's the weather like? Where are people tuning in from, Heather?
We've got Texas. I know I saw Texas. Kentucky. Let's see. Waiting for some more
Actually,
response.
also, I should say, I just rip it off. I don't even cut it. It just rips really nicely. So it's a pretty day here in Texas. We had a lot of clouds and kind of dreariness in the past week, but today it looks like the sun is going to come out. It's going to be 80 here in San Antonio, I think.
We
Perfect
got
spring weather.
Florida, Minnesota, Louisiana,
Awesome.
all over.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys will give these a try. These aren't the type of crafts I typically do, but I just think it's so fun to try new techniques. Oops, let's try these.
We've got Southern California, and the weather's beautiful.
Oh, I bet. Is it ever not beautiful in Southern California?
Yeah, no.
Heather's from Southern California, so I've got my friend Heather taping. She is so sweet to come over and help me with this. We did our first Hometalk Live a couple weeks ago, and it was such a smashing success that we're back at it again, I guess. You know, it was a lot of fun, so we thought we'd try some more. We did spring wreaths last time, if you want to check those out. Those were fun, too. And then I also have my mom here today. She is visiting me from Nebraska, where I grew up.
Oh, we got somebody from Ireland.
Wow, awesome.
Somebody said it was cold and I believe rainy in Wisconsin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully that rain will pass soon. Can't go too long. I like rain for a little while, but after a couple days, I'm ready to see the sun again.
Oh, we got Chicago, Illinois.
All right. So I lived in Chicago for 7 years before we moved down to San Antonio. I love Chicago. We lived downtown in Wicker Park, and it was just so much fun, especially in the springtime and the summertime. Best city. Okay, so I'm still doing that same technique over and over, and I've got all 6 of my small petals on there now. Does it look like the center of a rose to you guys? What do you think so far? Now we're going to add the heart-shaped petals in the same way, just to start forming that rose. So once you get all these cut out and you wrap them, it really does not take that long. I think these would be beautiful for a wedding. You could even do a wedding bouquet out of these, and you could keep your bouquet forever. You know, that would be pretty cool.
We have somebody, it's 2:30 a.m. in Australia, and they can't sleep. Aw.
Well, I'm glad you're tuning in. Hopefully this will put you to sleep, I guess.
After you watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
So what are some other favorite flowers? I think Heather and I were talking about ours before the show, and we chose rose. Do you want to tell them why, Heather?
Yes. So my mom's name is Rose. My middle name is Rose. My daughter, my daughter's middle name's Rose. And Haley, your middle name is Rose. One of your daughter's middle names, Rose.
That's right. I have a Stella Rose.
I have an Abby Rose. And then your grandmother's middle name, is that correct?
Yes.
Was
So
Rose.
not love roses,
So it's a
right?
popular name in the family name here.
Any other roses tuning in?
We've got a question. Are the petals placed on the same place on the wire from the inside of the flower?
Good question. So I'm always kind of rotating it with each petal I add. I don't want to keep adding them to the same size just to make it even. And then yes, I kind of just put it roughly in the same place. I'm actually not paying that close of attention to where I put it, but I just want to line up the tips of the flowers. So, you know, you don't want one way down here. You want the tops all pretty level.
All right, we just found the best tagline of the day. April showers bring crafting flowers. Love it.
So clever. Okay, so what would you guys do with these roses if you made them? Where would you put them in your house? Let us know. These I've actually had in my craft room for the last 4 years because my craft room is pink, and so the roses look nicely in there. Nice. Yeah, I think this would be such a pretty, you know, centerpiece for a party or a wedding bouquet or a birthday. What a nice Mother's Day gift if you surprised your mom with a big bouquet of these. The only thing you have to realize is that, you know, they are a bit time consuming. So if you're going to make 5 or 6 of these, plan to spend 5 or 6 hours doing that. So, you know, do one every couple days and spread it out. That's how I would craft these up, not the night before a party or anything.
We've
so
got a daughter that's name is Ashley Rose.
Pretty. It makes such a pretty middle name.
Yeah.
So I realized I had not curled some of these tips. So you want to make sure that they are curled out to give it that, see, full rose look.
Lots of peonies. People love peonies.
Does anyone have peonies blooming yet? Is that, what time of the year do peonies usually bloom? It's pretty soon, isn't it? Maybe closer to May. My mom used to have a beautiful peony bush in her yard. She'd always bring them inside in the spring. It made the prettiest bouquets. I don't see them growing down here in San Antonio. I don't think they can.
They're too delicate, I think.
Yeah.
It's cold and rainy in Denmark.
Oh, well, Denmark sounds like a nice place to be, though. I'd like to visit there someday. Hope it warms up there for you soon. Okay, so I'm just curling the rest of these. So yeah, this crepe paper, if you, depending on what type of rose you want to make, it comes in a rainbow colors. So many of them are this kind of two-tone, which I just love. So check that out if you're interested in making these and have fun experimenting with different colors. I love this pretty pink.
Somebody mentioned this would be a good teacher's gift. I agree, because they can last the whole year and brighten up their desk.
You know, I don't know if it's everywhere, but it's Teacher Appreciation Week next week. I got an email about that from my child's teacher. And I think we're supposed to bring in a flower, so maybe I'll...
There you go.
Maybe we know where this one's going.
Yeah.
All right. How's that looking? What do you guys think? Send us some hearts if you like how this is shaping up. And be sure to share with your friends too if you think they would like to learn how to make some flowers. Has anyone done paper flower crafting? Let us know what kind of things you've made. And also, I don't know if I mentioned the actual giveaway. So the giveaway today, every Hometalk Live, there's a giveaway for a great Hometalk tote bag. And today's giveaway for the tote bag is a question of what type of flower would you make? So I know some of you have already started answering that, but if you haven't had a chance to yet, let us know what type of flower you would make and you'll be entered in the giveaway.
I heard lily of the valley.
Oh, pretty. Yes, another pretty spring flower. So delicate.
Again, we asked another question about the paper, and does it come in rolls or sheets?
From what I've seen, it comes in sheets. And it's $2.50 a sheet for where I purchased it anyways. At castleintheair.biz. I keep repeating them because it's the only place that I know that really sells it. I think it's a very specialty item, but they are great with customer service because I had ordered these for the show a couple weeks ago and I accidentally had them sent to my old address in Chicago. I think it must have like auto-populated or something. And then I was wondering why they hadn't arrived and I got a call from them to say that my crepe paper had been returned to California because I no longer live there. So they sent it right back out to me. They were very sweet. And I appreciated them calling me to let me know because I had no idea. I should say that I think they actually have a store in Berkeley, California. So if anyone is calling in from that area, you can actually go check out their store.
I did see somebody from Northern California.
Cool.
So.
And I think they do a ton of like paper flower craft classes. So you could actually go to the store and learn how to make it.
Somebody said Amazon has a lot. So
oh, do they?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know that Leah Griffith just started selling a line, and I'm sure hers is beautiful as well. She makes really beautiful paper flowers on her blog, leahgriffith.com. So check her out if you want to learn more about paper flower making. She's like the queen of it. Okay, so I've got one more petal. Oh, this one turned out really nice. And then we'll have our rose. So yeah, this floral tape is just really kind of cool how it just wraps around itself. Your fingers start to feel a little sticky afterwards, but that's it. What do you guys think? We made a rose. So yeah, that is using the smaller heart here. That made this size. And then this larger heart that I blew up, I think 125% more, made this larger one. So those are your roses. Are you guys ready to try something else? So if you're tuning in, we just made these paper roses out of double-sided crepe paper. And I'm gonna switch this up real quick and we'll move on to our next flower, which is made out of encyclopedia pages. From that. Next. Well, we'll bring over those so they can see them. method number 2, and this one you've probably tried before. I'm gonna be surprised. This technique is one that a lot of kids learn in grade school even. It is a simple accordion fold, so let me know if you've made anything like this before, but it's real easy to get the hang of. And I think, you know, they don't necessarily resemble a type of lifelike flower. I don't know what you guys think these look like, but I just love them because they are colorful and you can make them any color you want. And if you are more of a neutral person, you don't even need to add the tissue paper. You can just make them all out of book pages. So let me show you what you need here. The first is a book, and I'm not really advocating that you go cut up your books, but I think if you had an old encyclopedia laying around, or you're at a thrift store and there's an old book with some nice big pages, it would be a good candidate for this. Like I said, this one I found at my Goodwill. It was just the volume 5 all by itself. I didn't think anyone was going to be purchasing that anytime soon. For 99 cents, so I thought I would use it to make paper flowers with. And the encyclopedia has like the nice kind of large thin sheets that work well for this. And because I love color, I also wanted to incorporate some tissue paper. So I got some brightly colored tissue paper, just regular tissue paper that you can buy at the party store. And we're going to use that floral wire. Again, the same thickness 18 gauge floral wire that I used for the crepe paper roses. You'll also need a stapler, some scissors, and a piece of cardstock. Where's my little,
right there.
Oh, it's right in front of me.
Got it.
Cardstock. I cut this out into a 6-inch square. So you could change up the size depending on what size of flowers you want, but the ones that I made here are using a 6-inch square cut from cardstock to use as my little template. So let me show you how to make one of these. Super simple. Okay, so this is one where I did double up the tissue paper. You can cut through multiple layers at a time because it is so thin. And for each flower that you make, you're going to want three sheets of tissue paper and 3 sheets of encyclopedia or book paper. Somebody
suggested using sheet music.
Yes.
And tea stain them to kind of.
I've seen that before. I think that would be
antique them.
Yes. So I just traced around the template, and I'm cutting through probably like 8 to 10 layers of tissue paper here. They're not very high tech in terms of. I'm definitely like a paper and scissors type of girl. I just cut things out with scissors. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there's some sheets to use.
This would be neat to give to your librarian. We've got a great school librarian at our school.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of a neat thing.
That would be nice. And talk about living on forever. I made this bouquet 4 years ago now, and I've had it in my living room. I put it in this vase that I had gotten from also the Goodwill, I think, and I just painted the inside of the vase with craft paint. That's another trick. If you want a pretty colored vase, just paint the inside, and it gives you a nice finish. Okay, so I'm just using any page in the encyclopedia. I just put the template around the corner, traced it, and then I'm going to cut them out. And you can cut out a couple pages at once, you know, here too. I'm sorry, I feel bad cutting up a book. I love books, but I'm giving it a new life as a flower. This project came about because for a year I worked with the local Goodwill here in San Antonio, and I did a series of posts. I would find something in the Goodwill store that was a common item like these books, and I would give it a makeover, do something unexpected or different with it to give people inspiration on how they could do thrift store makeovers or thrifty crafts, things that they could find from the Goodwill. So let me show you what I'm doing now. I'm layering the book pages with the tissue, so there'll be 6 altogether, 3 book pages and 3 tissue pages, and then I'm just going to stack them on top of each other.
The question is, where are you getting your templates from?
Well, this I just measured a 6-inch square and I just cut it out of cardstock. So you can measure it to whatever size you want and then just cut it out. This one I did not download a template or anything. All right, so who's done an accordion fold before? Pretty fun, pretty simple, and use this to do like a fan. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking all the layers, and then I'm just gonna fold it about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm gonna pick it up, I'm going to fold it back on itself until it meets up. And I'm going to pick it up and turn it over. And do it again until we get to the end. Just like that. So that's an accordion fold. So that is what is going to make the flower the flower. So I'm going to staple it right in the middle. Like that. Staple. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut the ends at an angle. So for those of you that are just joining, we're making 3 different types of paper flowers. We made crepe paper roses, and now we're making flowers out of thrifted old books. You use encyclopedias, sheet music, any book you want. So I'm just, now that I've clipped off the end at an angle like that, I'm gonna open it up and I'm going to carefully peel each layer up toward the middle where the staple is. And you do want to be careful here because the tissue paper is really thin. It can rip a little bit, but don't worry if it does, it won't really show. So has anyone made flowers like these before? I think I remember making these when I was younger. You can make them with all tissue paper too if you want. That's very popular here down in San Antonio. Some of the Mexican-inspired tissue paper flowers, really beautiful colors. So that's the first layer. And then you're going to peel off the next layer.
Somebody wanted to know about, you could do use magazines for this.
So, yeah, they're nice and big, and I think thickness-wise would work. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can play around with all different types of book pages. And if you're going to throw out the magazine anyways, recycle it, you know, you can try this instead. This would be a fun project for kids. It doesn't require any hot glue or anything. Definitely kids could do this. So I'm just taking up all the layers here.
Somebody made flowers growing up for Fiesta.
Oh,
so.
Yes. Viva Fiesta. Are they from San Antonio? Is that Fiesta or just... So it's Fiesta season here in San Antonio. It just kicked off today. And the last Hometalk live I did was to make a wreath for Fiesta. So everyone's got their wreaths up now. And it's a big celebration throughout the city for the next couple weeks.
Someone mentioned that this is old school 80s. Every wedding party made tissue paper flowers in this way for decor. So I guess it's part of a wedding party. This is your job.
Let's do again, right?
Like it.
So I liked the added pop of color of the tissue paper. You could do whatever color you want, and like I said, you don't have to. See, I'm ripping them a little bit as I'm doing this quickly, but that's okay because it really doesn't show once they're all bunched together. All right. And actually, I just forgot a step. So this is going to be a stemless flower because I forgot to add the stem. I'll do another one real quick and show you where I should have added the stem. I could probably squeeze one in there right now, but I don't want to squish it. So that's a completed flower, minus the stem. That's what it looks like on the back side.
Live show, that's what happens.
There you go. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Hit the like button if you like that simple flower there. I'm going to make one really quick and show you what I should have done. Okay, and oh, I should mention that I've actually also made these out of napkins before. So if you have some colorful printed napkins that you want to make flowers out of, the same technique works great.
Or those extra leftover that I have a bag full of from all the different birthday parties for kids.
Your girls would have fun making flowers.
Oh yeah.
Those. That would be fun.
We did these flowers for the headbands that you made.
Yep, same technique. You can use this technique for all different, all different uses. So, okay, I'm going to staple this again. I did the accordion fold. I'm going to staple it.
We did the same flowers for our Girl Scout troop. So this would be a good Girl Scout troop project, craft.
And then I'm going to angle ends. Now, this is what I should have done. At this point, you take your floral wire and you wrap it around the center there, like so. And then you just twist it on itself. That's going to hold the flower. So just like that.
Somebody wanted to clarify how many layers of paper?
6 layers total, so 3 of the tissue paper and 3 of the encyclopedia pages or book pages. 6 altogether. And you could probably experiment with that as well if you wanted thicker flowers. You may be able to add more layers, but 6 seems to work well for me. So now that you have your stem on there, you just do the same thing. You move them up to the top. These would also be really, nice for party decor or...
Oh, and what's the giveaway question?
The giveaway question is, what type of flower would you make? So hopefully I've inspired you guys to try to make some paper flowers. What type of paper flower would you make if you had the chance to make whatever you wanted? And actually, if you any more, there's tutorials for probably just about any type of paper flower. I haven't branched out beyond these yet, but I definitely love doing it and would like to try some others for sure.
People mentioned they used Kleenex as a kid to make paper flowers.
Kleenex, wow, that's cool. I wonder, you'd have to be careful not to rip it, I would think, but I'm ripping this too, so that's cool.
Somebody mentioned water lily. That would be pretty.
Pretty.
Lots of roses, daisy.
These almost remind me a little bit of a water lily. What do you think?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah, especially if you do kind of the green around the outside, do a layer of green at the end.
That's another thing. So I alternated the tissue paper with the encyclopedia pages, but you could try doing 3 layers of the tissue paper and then 3 layers of the encyclopedia paper, and that would make the center, I think, you have to try it, make the center one color and the outside another, rather than layered. Someone try that and let me know. I'm not sure how that would actually work.
Or lotus flower. Lots of
Pretty.
Cherokee rose. So many pretty flowers out there.
Is anyone busy planting flowers in their yard at this time of year? It's the best time of year to be outside and plant your garden for the spring. I've been doing that here, but it's very tricky to grow stuff in South Texas. I struggle because in a couple months, everything just gets so hot. It's hard to keep anything alive, but right now it's looking good. So there's another flower. So really not too time consuming to make these guys. And I have a stem on this one now, so let's stick it in our bouquet here. All right, so that was our second flower. We made the crepe paper roses here and the encyclopedia page flowers, and I'm gonna switch it up real quick and do one more for you guys, which is super simple and super inexpensive to make too. Okay, we'll show them what that one is. Okay, so the next one we're going to make are the crepe paper, or not crepe paper, spring flowering branches. I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun here real quick. So the surprising craft supply, at least I think is kind of fun to use for these, is party streamers that you get at the party store, the dollar store. You can get a pack of 2 of these party streamers in any color, pack of 2 for $1 at Dollar Tree. And just simple stuff that you decorate a party with is what I use to make these flowers. And it's actually similar, it is crepe paper, but it's the single-sided, it's not double-sided, so you couldn't use this particular type to make the roses that we did, but it works great for making these flowers. And I'll show you what we need here. Okay. Move these a little farther so don't poke me in the eye.
Who's an eye?
It's not worth it.
Crafting hazard.
Okay, so this is super simple to make these. What you do is you cut a probably 6 or 7 inch strip of crepe paper, and you can double them up. I'm going to cut a few more here. And they don't have to be perfect lengths because they just don't. You don't need to worry too much about measuring them. Somewhere around 6 inches. What else you need for these, or at least what will make your life easier, is a fun pair of fringe scissors. So these are from Martha Stewart Crafts. I think they're about $7 or $8. You can get them online. I think any craft store has a pair of fringing scissors like these. They're just really fun to have on hand, and you can just fringe whatever your heart desires. And they help make these rather than using the scissors where you'd have to do the individual cuts. So what I'm going to do, I'll do 2 at once, stack them on top of each other, and then I'm going to take my fringe scissors and just fringe them about halfway down, maybe a little farther. It makes 4 or 5 cuts at a time.
I'm having a little scissor envy right now. Those are awesome.
Yeah, they're fun. They're not, you know, it's an investment at first, but you can, $7 or $8, but you can find all sorts of uses for them. You can make your own piñata. You can do anything you want. So that is how it fringes. Super simple. And then also very high-tech tool, you need a toothpick or something along those lines. I've used a darning needle before, but all you do once you've got it fringed is you take one of the strips and you wrap it tightly around using the toothpick.
Somebody said they use those scissors to cut chives.
Oh, wow, cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, to have a pair in your kitchen. I like that. Yeah, they're nice and sharp. They cut through just about anything. So I've rolled it all up, and then you can kind of fan it out for your flour, and then you just want to glue that. I don't know if my hot glue gun has heated up yet. I'll just use a little of this tacky glue. There you go. You just want to glue it shut. Like that. Super simple. You just need to make about 500 more of those. So for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've probably used about 20 or 25 flowers on my branch. So this is another great craft to do while you're watching TV. Super, you know, easy to multitask with this. And just whip them up one night, and then you can assemble it the next day. And all you need, other than the party streamers and the scissors, is a branch from your yard. I found this branch in our backyard, and I did spray paint it white, but you don't have to. You can just leave it natural. And once I had a bunch of these guys made, I just clipped it off a little bit, so I didn't leave that long of a stem. Just clipped it off like here, put a dab of hot glue on there, and just stick it along the branch. And you can change up the color any way you like. You could add little leaves if you wanted. I thought these looked a little like cherry blossoms, perhaps, but I've made another one before with just kind of multicolored flowers on it for fun. And I think it'll look really pretty on a mantle. It adds some nice height to your mantle in the spring, or you can put it on an accent table. And yeah, bring a little spring indoors. So that is the idea behind one of these. I think you guys probably got the idea. I'll show you one more real quick, and then we'll wrap things up here. Do we have a giveaway winner yet? Or anyone else chiming in with their favorite flower or what flower they would make? Oopsie. Put the glue on too soon.
They're going to comment it in just a minute.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you like these flowers. What's been everyone's favorite so far? If you've seen, I don't know if you've hung on enough to see all 3 of them. Do you have a favorite one? One you want to go try to make yourself? So there's another one.
Someone suggested they thought this was nice for a wedding table and add some lights.
Oh, white lights would be so fun on that. Cool idea. I might try that just because I like that idea. So there's another one. Yep. Let's see if my hot glue is ready. I'll put one on my branch here. Yep. So you just add a little dab of hot glue on the base there. Stick it on your branch and just hold it in place for a little bit until it sets.
Okay, they've chosen a winner.
Cool.
For pink roses.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I like pink roses, as you can see from the ones we made today.
Yeah.
Cool, congrats to whoever won. And thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have another Home Talk live at 5 o'clock Eastern tonight, so tune back in for that. And also share this with friends if you think they would enjoy learning how to make a few different flowers. And thanks so much. I'm Haley of Design Improvised blog, designimprovise.com, and I love making simple projects that make a big impact like these flowers. I have a lot of different flower crafts on the blog, so hope you check it out. Thanks, guys.